guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Monday, October 30th. We're recording this before the Celtics-Wizards game, though we will be talking about the Celtics-Wizards game in this episode. We're just going to record that after the game, edit it in. You know the deal by now. We're not going to record an entire podcast at 11 at night. That is terrible. Don't want to do that. But we are here to record the rest, the rest of the show for you. But I guess we should we just throw it over to the Wizards React now? Like, should we just kick off the show with that? All right. Well,
yeah,
we'll see you after.
Let's hope we're happy.
All right. This is past/future Jack and Sam. It's past from the Jack and Sam you just listened to, but there's the future from them, but we're the past. We're here after the Celtics took down the Washington.
It's 9:30. It's 9:30.
Yeah. My bad. That's on me. We're here after the Celtics absolutely squashed the Wizards 126-107, though that final score is not indicative of just how bad the Celtics murdered the Wizards. I'll pull up the box score here. They were up by as much as, I think, 30 points in this game. Jaylen Brown had 36, Tatum had 33, Porzingis had 15, Holiday 11, 5 for day. Like, this might have been the most we are better than you performance that we see all season until they play the Wizards again. The Pacers truly might be the worst team in the NBA by a mile. And the Celtics just came out and said, sorry, you lose this game because we're better. And it was like me and Sam were watching with Ben Vallis. Yeah, we were watching with Ben Vallis the first floor. We were just laughing the entire game. It was not close.
Well, it started when Washington was like, we don't have any centers. So Kristaps Porzingis is going to be taller than our next tallest guy by 7 inches.
Right.
And he came out and scored 10 points in the first quarter, rather, not the fourth. He only finished with 15, but man, he was efficient. 7 of 9. He had 6 rebounds too. He just didn't really have to work too hard for anything that he did. And he was just playing my career, posting up low and just throwing hook shots over Kyle Kuzma or Denny Avdia, whoever they sorely put up against him.
Yeah. They started Kuzma at center, absolutely killed them in the post wherever they got to, wherever they wanted on the floor. And if you watched our video from earlier yesterday, Drew Holiday, 2 blocks, Derek White, 1 block. They combined for 3. Shout out. If those two can average 3 blocks in the season, that'd be crazy. But yeah, Tatum was good. He got to his spots. Super efficient game. 66% from field, 44 from deep. 9 threes is a bit much, but he made 4 of them, so it's fine. 33 points. Jaylen Brown was even better. 8 of 13 from 3 is nuts, and I think they were all in like the first half too. Like he came out cooking. Perhaps the best subplot to this is Porzingis only had to play 24 minutes, and so take the wear and tear off him a little bit. Al only played 15, which is great for him. Stayed in a little bit too long, and then the Wizards were bad. Like Kuzma was good. Kuzma 21 points, efficient game. Poole was bad. Tyus Jones was meh. They just couldn't do anything, right? Like they only took 87 shots because the Celtics clamped them up so much, got so many turnovers. Like they turned the ball over 15 times. And then the Wizards deep bench outplayed the Celtics deep bench. That's the really only talking point we have other than Celtics better than Wizards is the Celtics bench was really kind of bad in this game.
Better than Wizards.
Well, the Celtics starting lineup was
title.
Celtics starting lineup. Jaylen was a plus 32, Tatum plus 27, Porzingis plus 30, D White plus 27, Drew Holiday plus 28. And then you look at the bench, Hauser minus 10, Brissett minus 10, Banton minus 17, and Cornette minus 11. And, the latter 3 of those played 10 minutes or less each. So that's not really what you want to see from the bench. It didn't really matter in this game, but those guys have to be better in those spots. There's just there's not much for us to talk about and digest in this game. They just can't. They
beat the piss out of him. I mean, Jaylen Brown was flirting with a franchise record in threes. He just probably was never aware of it. He only took 13, made 8, and we were on the stream is somebody going to tell him he's only 3 makes away from tying the franchise record? But it was pretty sick to see Tatum and Brown both score 30. They love when this happens. People love to post that super cool stat that they never lose when both guys get 30 points. It's like, well, like
They have
not a
before,
lot
though.
of teams.
It happened
They
last
have.
year.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did happen, but they'll still post it.
Yeah.
And not a lot of teams are losing games when they got two guys in the 30s. It's happened. It happened to them. But, I mean, can't imagine very often it's happening. The rebound distribution, pretty impressive. Brown,
Yeah.
Tatum, Porzingis all have 6. Holiday with 5. And Derek White with the vision today. 8 assists from the man.
How's your 8 rebounds?
Old skeleton hands there.
Yeah. We were mocking his passing before the game. But Derek White's passing was something I looked at a lot in this game. He was making some great feeds. His entry passes to Porzingis and Tatum were great. I mean, he did have a slight advantage because the Wizards were tiny and Porzingis is a monster, but they were still perfectly placed, perfectly on time to get easy dunks. So that's huge. That's something the Celtics need. Hauser didn't really have a shot. He found it a little bit at the end there, but 8 rebounds is big from him. 3 offensive is huge. Horford had 5 rebounds, but 4 were offensive. So those are big. He was killing them in the offensive glass early. Wizards were bad. There's nothing really to look at. From
Wizards bad. Celtics good, Wizards bad. The Wizards might be one of the worst teams I've ever seen. If you're looking at the box score, I'm not sure that it really does justice how poor it was.
No.
Just to watch a guy like Jordan Poole try and play and have the freedom to do whatever he wants. If you missed this game, you didn't miss much, but you did miss the sequence where Jordan Poole has the ball on a break, slows up, pulls it back out, dribbles with his back to Porzingis as he walks the ball out, then quickly or not even quickly, like nonchalantly turns around to fire up a 3, and Porzingis gets a piece of it, then sprints the floor, posts up a smaller defender, and gets the easiest look you'll ever see. Jordan Poole is so reckless. He ended up on the floor a couple times. 5 of 11 does not look nearly as bad as he looked tonight. He's going to be a problem there, I think, this year. I think he's going to have so many different, like, he's upset, bad quote. No wonder the Warriors got rid of him. Like, all that stuff.
Keith Smith put in the Celtics blog chat. He goes, Tyus Jones is going to be saying, "Why am I here by Christmas?" Like, he's too good to be there. They're
Kuzma.
bad. The one, Kuzma's been good too. He just extended this, so he's fucked. The one thing from the Celtics side, Cornette was really bad. He was just like not good in his minutes, which is tough to see. We've been adamant about defending Cornette all summer. I'll put it this way: this is a really, really shitty game for Neemias Queta not to be healthy for, because he
sure is. Imagine the flare you could have got. Like,
was
this the Neemias Queta game to overtake Luke Cornette?
Well, this Eugene Omiori guy had 14 and 6
cooked,
going up right against Cornette, just killing him. So, overall, I mean, that's the one tiny complaint is that Cornette wasn't good. The Celtics fucking murdered him. Like, the Celtics were so clearly, and Pritchard was 0 of 8 over 6. Yikes, that's really bad too. But he had 7 rebounds.
Very struggle riddled start, if you will say. Slow start is really what I was.
7 rebounds, 6 assists though, which is good. But there's not much you can complain about in this game. Usually these post game reacts go for like 15 minutes as a segment in the pod. I have nothing else to say. Do you have anything else to say? They killed him, right?
Wizards it was a bad, Celtics good, Pacers next.
Yeah, if you are listening to this, go check out our Celtics Tri-Weekly article, which we're going to be posting on Celtics blog whenever we put up a new pod. It's probably going to go up later this afternoon as you're listening to this, though, but you can check it out. We'll expand upon our thoughts a little bit there, get it in writing form. So check that out. But we will throw it back over to our past selves for the rest of the show. All right. Like Sam said before we threw it over, hopefully the Celtics won, and that was all good things. And if not, you're going to have a very angry Sam in the middle of 2 normal podcast episodes. Sandwich.
I mean, if they lose to the Wizards tonight, I'm going to be none too pleased.
Would not be fun. You got to imagine there's going to be some of those this season, knock on wood. As much as you don't want there to be, there'll be some. Let's just hope it's not tonight. For my sanity, at least. Let's hope it's not. But starting off with a piece of news, Al Horford recently said that he doesn't mind the bench role that he's been sort of not pigeonholed into, but that's where he's been placed. That's what was determined to be best for the team. Horford said, "I respect the decisions that Joe is making, the way he wants to go right now, and ultimately I want to win." Horford told Heavy Sports, I assume this was Steve Bulpett article.
Yes.
"I'm always ready. I'm always prepared. This is something different for me. I haven't been in this position before, but right now I'm just going to continue to stay ready and do what I have to do." Good, right? Like, I mean, that's what you want to hear from Horford. Question: if he was actually upset, do you think he would say it publicly? Because there's no chance, right? There's no way he would. This is exactly what he would say.
I think this is what he would say, but I also think there would have been more of a trial period with him not coming off the bench.
True.
If he was not okay with it. Because I think he has enough say where it could have been like, okay, yeah, like we'll see how it goes and see how comfortable everyone else is, and we don't have to change it if nothing's wrong. But I would imagine there was some compromise there, and he was just like, yeah, I'll come off the bench. The starting lineup looks good together. And I still think he's going to start in some real, like, competitive games against Philly, against Milwaukee. I mean, even against Miami in the future, you might see it. I didn't think they looked that great without him out there, especially against Bam. So I don't know if I'm sold on him permanently coming off the bench every single game, no matter what. But sure, I'm glad it's very on brand for him to be like, yes, I will do this for the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, this is what you expect to hear from Horford. This is what everyone in that top six has been saying all preseason and training camp, that, yeah, we'll come off the bench if we need to. I mean, Tatum even joked about it, so you got that in there as well. But he's also, like, just looked good in that role. Like, I think he put up 8 and 7 against the Knicks, and he didn't score against the Heat, but he had 10 rebounds, and, like, you could see he was making an impact. He closed the game when Porzingis fouled out, so it's clearly working. And so to hear him say, yeah, I'm fine with it is exactly what Celtics fans should want to hear. And it's good. It's a good thing moving forward for Boston.
Also, not for nothing, and I'm not really sure what the correlation is exactly with this kind of thing, but by not starting, you're saving more Horford minutes if you want to limit him for later in the game. Horford, like you said, he came off the bench and filled in when Porzingis fouled out, but he's somebody you can trust in clutch moments. He's not somebody that plays reckless. He's not somebody that's trying to do too much. He's steady. He's there, and he's not going to hurt you. You can trust him. So you absolutely want that flexibility to play him in clutch time, crunch time, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, agree. Good for Horford. It's working well so far. All right, let's check in with our emails. I know we have a few to go over. I know Phil sent us one. I saw it. We recorded super early on Saturday so we could get it out because we were both busy. And he sent us one midday, like saying, oh, maybe this will get in before you record. Preemptive. Sorry, RJ. It was a weird day for recording.
RJ or Phil?
I think it was RJ. RJ sent it to us.
Said Phil first.
Oh, well, look at me. Sorry, RJ. RJ said Celtics week ahead. Afternoon, don't know if we'll make it in time for Sunday pod, but here's my quick preview of the Celtics week 2 schedule on Celtics blog. Let us take a look briefly here. Monday, Washington. Wednesday, Indiana. Saturday, Brooklyn. Too early to call a trap game after facing and beating a tough defense from the Knicks. Said I'll play the Wizards. Talked about their terrible performance against the Pacers. Revenge games. Gallinari and Muscala. Good point. I mean, by the time you're hearing this is already out, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully, again, that we were happy in that review. How about entire trap week? Indiana has looked good so far. Halliburton, Bruce Brown, Buddy Hield, Mathurin. They have a good team. I know we're both pretty high on the Pacers this year, I think, right?
Yeah, I have. I think I picked them to make the playoffs outright, or at least in the play-in. I don't remember what I did. It's been. I
think we had them in that 7 to 8 range. So, and then returned to New York to take on the Nets. Simmons seems to be back and in good health. He's actually looked all right. You call him Draymond Green, which is like fine. Seas might bring out Delano Banton for a little bit against Simmons. Maybe. Celtics should sweep the week. Each team isn't as talented, but they can't afford to take any opponent for granted. Agree.
Great take.
Agree.
I think they should win every single game.
You say that every game, but I agree.
Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. Guaranteed. That's guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. It absolutely is. The app is easy to use, and you can be on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/Boston. Kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Next one, the state of RJ. Just a little before sunrise here, so I thought I'd send off another personal note since Jack asked the other day. Thank you, RJ. We like this. Y'all wondered what time zone I hail from for the past 23 years. It's the Pacific. I live in San Francisco, and I love it. Good weather, good people, good transit, which matters as a lifelong non-driver. Hardest thing for me to get used to moving here from Chicago was the notion that land could be taller than buildings. That is odd. Right now, I'm having a light breakfast of coffee with rice, milk, and homemade soup for one of our kids didn't finish last night. Greek egg lemon soup. Ruth Ann is an amazing cook. Pre-COVID, I would often get breakfast from a diner, nothing fancy, corned beef hash, eggs, hash browns, not home fries, and enough coffee to float a boat, eat, read the morning paper, and just soak in the day. Not dining out much now as my age and health factors put me in the danger zone. Obligatory reminder, get vaccinated if your immune system allows it. Mask up and wash your hands. I agree. Not just for your own health, but as a kindness to those around you. I agree again. Weekends are reading and puttering time, also sports research time, certainly basketball and Celtics, but boning up on baseball for the APBA, pronounced APBA, not spelled out. Well, I'm an idiot.
Oh, no, Jack.
League I'm in. The players' cards come out around Turkey Day, and our draft is in January. If you want more info on my squad, the Tracy Thunderbirds, just say the word. I don't know what APBA is. If you'd like to enlighten us, feel free. But
if it's like if it's an adult baseball league, my dad
I think it's
also
like
does
it.
that.
Yeah, I think it's like fantasy basketball, or baseball with like cards though, which is cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
which
okay,
is
okay.
yeah. I assume. Let us know who's right. On the reading front, I just started a biography on Walt Disney along with basketball on paper. My fiction taste tends to be more science fiction and detective stories. Best is when they blend together. Two of my favorite authors in that regard are Stephen Brust and Gail Carriger. On the sports nerd front, as much as I love stats and analytics, I want to use data to answer meaningful questions about why players and teams succeed or fail, and not just create new meaningless trivia. Yes, it's cool Kristaps scored more points in his Celtics debut than anyone else, but that's trivia, not analytics. I think that's why I enjoy HBTC as much as I do. You both get that difference too, and don't wave numbers around to make yourself sound more important. Meanwhile, the comment of the last video goes, "You guys literally adjusted the stats until the Celtics."
Well,
were
we
on
did.
top."
That was fire.
We did.
I was
We
just,
did.
I
It
was
was
like,
great.
yeah, you got to change it so they're on top. They're first.
We're self-aware, though. We're self-aware idiots. On the family front, F has a horse riding event she's looking forward to today, and K is doing math homework. ADHD is a pain, but we're doing our best to help them out. And then falling down the rabbit hole of Genshin Impact, their favorite anime. 12-year-olds are amazing. Thanks for being curious about me, guys. Take care of yourselves and be well. RJ Johnson. I've never played Genshin Impact. I've seen people play it, though. It looks fun. I've just
never heard of
delved
it.
into it myself. It's good. I mean, it's in line of the video games that I play and you don't. It's I think it's the same people that made like League of Legends. You don't
Okay.
play that. I like played it in
Sure.
high school and stuff. So, all right, RJ, more on early shots. Just saw the Sunday edition of the podcast, and I got to say, early morning Jack seems like a fun guy, maybe along the lines of a happy drunk.
Jack was
not,
miserable. What are you talking about?
I was not.
He was mad
with
as
it.
hell that he had to wake up.
I hate waking up early. Seriously, props to both of you for your commitment to daily content. We're doing it. Sam, I get your concerns about the Celtics not making the extra passes in the first two games, but I think that was more a matter of knowing your opponent than falling into ISO-heavy habits. Both the Knicks and Heat are good at jumping passing lanes when they have a chance to set their defense. Celtics tried to minimize those opportunities for Miami by getting into action sooner in the clock, finding mismatches and rebounding. At least they remembered that after O'Shea has reminded them. I actually didn't think about it from that perspective. That's actually, I get it. I still don't think the offense is as smooth as it should be, but I can understand it from that mindset at least.
Well, finish the email.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if the Celtics can hunt better or the better shot more than the easiest mismatch against the Wizards. I think they will, as their team defense was last seen on the back of a milk carton. I also hope Joe gives his circle of trust guys more than just 12 minutes of floor time. Be well, RJ Johnson. What were you saying?
So in relation to in the early offense ball movement thing, I think that's a good point. You obviously don't want to be playing with fire when you know the opposing team can play defense. But I also don't think, from a Celtics perspective, you should bend and really conform and play their game if you don't have to. I think it would be great to see more ball movement. You'll probably see it against the Wizards tonight, knock on wood. I sure hope you do. Especially considering the angle here. They don't play any defense, that's for sure.
This is true.
I like ball movement, and I don't like the early in the shot clock threes. I don't mind them trying to get something going, whether it's pick and roll or any other action they may run. Shows how much I know about the X's and O's. I got the eye test down, I'll tell you that. I would just like to see more of it. Don't settle.
I agree. All right, last email from Philip. Hey fellas, can you see the new ZBA creating an even greater emphasis on having a superstar player rather than multiple all-stars? I.e., could it be better to have Jokic and Murray than a big three? I'm thinking it will, because with the second apron penalties, only the teams with a superstar over earning their max will get value for their money. Sure, you can pay a couple of all-stars, but if you hit that second apron without a superstar, you're probably incurring too many penalties to make it worth it. I read the start of this email when I was in the car today because I saw it pop up, and I didn't really think about the CBA in that context, but it does make sense, right? Because if you're paying like use the current Timberwolves as the example. I think Anthony Edwards has the
Sure.
potential to grow into the superstar that you're talking about, but the current Timberwolves is paying 3 all-stars max money, and you're kind of seeing how that pans out. Now, if Anthony Edwards does grow into that superstar, which they're probably banking on, then you're fine. But look at, I guess you could say, the Knicks, right? Like the Knicks have they have one good star and another all-NBA player who's made it twice. We'll qualify Julius Randle as that. But they're still searching for, okay, let's get another player. Let's get another player, because that's just not good enough in today's NBA. You look at the Hawks, right? I guess Trae Young can ride that border when he gets hot, but he's too
Philly.
inconsistent. Well, they have Embiid. Like, he's a superstar. Like, you have to
Sure.
qualify.
Yeah.
him as
Okay.
that.
Okay.
But like I'm trying to think of the example. Look at the Grizzlies for the past few years, right? John Morant has been on the line. He's sort of in the Anthony Edwards category, but they have 3 like
Sure.
really good all-star caliber players. But that hasn't really been enough, because you're running into a team like, as much as you hate to admit it, the Lakers, who have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, either of which could play like a superstar. A team like the
And
Nuggets,
Memphis
a team like
was injury riddled.
well, that too. But I'm
You can
just
even
saying.
point out the Warriors the year before. I mean, Memphis ran into them.
Sure, yeah, and they have Steph Curry, so I agree. I think it could put an emphasis on that, and I think only how many teams in the NBA would you say have that superstar? I think the Celtics and Jason Tatum, Nuggets and Jokic, Giannis and the Bucks, Steph, LeBron, KD / Devin Booker and the Suns, Embiid and the Sixers. Past that, I'm probably missing some, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. And then you have the guys who could potentially grow into playing that role, like the John Morant, like the Anthony Edwards, like the teams like that. So I guess we'll have to see how it pans out, and which players can grow into that superstar role. But I mean, the new CBA is definitely going to make it more difficult to spend. And so ensuring that one of the guys you are paying that max contract is getting that, reaching that superstar level is important. And I mean, Jokic and Murray is a great example of that. They have guys bordering on the all-star level in like Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., but I agree. Yeah, I think that could definitely play a part. Rest of the email too. If you think it will create a greater superstar emphasis, how do you think this will affect roster construction? I'm imagining that all-stars will be traded away more readily from middling teams. Unless a team has a superstar or several years of a young all-star under contract, it's not going to make much sense to pay them a supermax if that player is not a true superstar. I could see situations like Dame resolving 5 to 7 years earlier. I was also thinking this might mean the lowest tier of NBA players gets paid less as teams struggle in the second apron, because if you're in that apron, you're not cost-cutting the superstars. That said, these lower tier players might also get longer contracts than usual from second apron teams who want them to outgrow their contract value, because again, contracts in the second tier all cost exponentially more. Thanks for entertaining the questions and creating an entertaining show. Best, Phil. Thank you, Phil. I think we kind of covered this a little bit, how it will affect roster construction. I think it's weird, right? Because I'm thinking of teams around the league right now, and you look at teams that are in the middle of the pack, like there's a very stark difference between, I'll use the Bulls and the Raptors as one example, and the Pacers and the Pelicans as another example, right? Like the Pacers and the Pelicans have a clear path out because they have Zion and Halliburton, who, I mean, the concerns for each of them are very different. Like Zion is health, and Halliburton is just how, like, can he reach that next level of carrying a team to a championship? Versus the Bulls and the Raptors, who have, in the Bulls case, no real guy who can turn into that superstar. Like they don't really have a guy with much hope, so they're just kind of middle of the pack. And the Raptors, whose best hope is Scotty Barnes, and the question is then, do you think Scotty Barnes can get to that level? I probably lean no right now, but you never know. And so I do think you might see teams. In my head, I think teams should start to blow it up sooner, but then you look at the Bulls and the Raptors, and neither of them are doing shit. So maybe the CBA does sort of induce that need to trade stars away sooner.
Another thing, and this kind of ties into the trading stars thing, I think you're going to see more and more of teams really, really wanting to compile draft picks. Now, teams already do that now. Celtics did it. Thunder are doing it. Houston has a bunch of draft picks. They want to be able to add talent for cheap. If you add people through the draft, the most you're going to pay is what, $11 million a year for the number one pick for the first 4 seasons.
Something like
That's
that.
not
It'll
very
go
much
up,
money
yeah.
for a potentially high level player. As you go down the draft board, the price gets even cheaper. It might have been one of the reasons you saw the Celtics trade back a bunch of times this year, so they didn't even have to pay Jordan Walsh guaranteed money.
They used the second round exception instead. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So that's one way they're going to do it. It's going to become more of a game for the GMs. The NBA has like the fakest salary cap ever because you can just avoid it in so many ways. You can go over it. And that kind of holds true for the second apron. The only problem is nobody wants to deal with the actual consequences anymore because they've actually made some that are real. So by violating it, you are not only going to get penalized in trades, but you're also going to lose the best way to add cheap talent, which is draft picks. They're going to go to the end of the round. You're going to lose chances to add good talent. We'll save you money because you're going to have to pay less, but more draft picks. That's the hypothesis. I know, big, really going on a limb.
No, I mean, I agree with it. And I think the perfect example is the Nuggets, right? The Nuggets said, we're not paying Bruce Brown. We're not paying Jeff Green. We're going to bank on the development of Peyton Watson, the development of Christian Brown, who are all on small contracts. So we can not only continue competing for a championship with our tier 1 best player in the world superstar, but we also don't have to pay an insane luxury tax bill. I mean, they're still paying the tax because you have high-end salaries that make a lot of money, but they're not going to spend that much to keep their team intact when they can depend on the talent that they picked up. So I think there's some truth to it. I agree. Thank you, Philip, for tuning in and the kind words and all that good stuff. But let's move on to the portion of the program where Sam's going to get really mad because the Celtics,
I'm already mad as hell,
and the NBA have unveiled their new in-season tournament court. I have the picture here. This is the new court for the Celtics in-season tournament. We're going to look at the rest of the teams' courts, whatever, but we'll focus on the Celtics for now. Now, I'm going to give my thoughts before you go.
Yeah.
Because I tend to take a more, we'll call it level-headed
reserve
to this stuff. I think this has the potential to look really cool in person. I think it could look good in person, and I think it won't be as bad as it's made out to be. That said, getting rid of the parquet should be a crime. You can't do it. You can't do it. So that's where I'm at. I think this could look cool. I think it probably will look cool in person and on TV. And I understand why they are trying to make the courts different for the in-season tournament because, I mean, we talked about it in the summer where it's like, okay, I mean, it's just going to feel like another regular season game. Like this is an indicator. I read Zach Lowe's article or pieces of it, and he was talking to like people in the NBA who worked on this stuff, and they're like, we wanted when somebody tunes into the game, them to immediately know it was an in-season tournament game. This will accomplish that goal. But you just can't get rid of the parquet. Like that's a no-no. So that's my thought. And now I'll let you get mad online.
Okay. First and foremost, you are correct. You cannot get rid of the parquet. Poor decision. Now, Forsberg put out a tweet today and was like, are they going to do this paint job over the parquet? Which they very well could. But from this design, this draft, the render, whatever you want to call it, that is not what we are getting. What we are
have an update on that potentially in the Zach Lowe article. Sorry to cut you off, but this like has context to what you're talking about.
Sure.
In the Zach Lowe article, I want to find it. They said the decision. I need to find the exact thing.
They don't want any remnants of wood. That's something the NBA said.
The biggest decision was to paint the entire court with no wood showing. That was the wow. So like that sounds like the parquet is not going to show. So
yeah. Okay. So decision. Bad decision by the NBA. They need to jail these people because this is just unnecessary bullshit. Nobody asked for this. And to really go out on a limb, and not even on a limb, just for them to come out and be like, yeah, we think our fans are so fucking dumb that they wouldn't realize that this is a game that's not a regular season game unless we painted the whole court an entirely different color is extremely ludicrous and disrespectful to a lot of people. You could very well have done that by literally putting the fucking trophy at midcourt and it would look awesome. It would look awesome if you did that. No complaints.
If they did this trophy in the middle as it is with just the normal logo and everything, even like, I don't even hate the paint. Like the paint as the trophy, it's also like whatever. Just like leave everything else. Just put the trophy on the court. Like that's all you had to do. And maybe right in season tournament, instead
like
where
the
TD
old
Garden
school
is.
having the playoffs.
Yeah. Just do that. But
yeah, but no, the fans are so dumb that they wouldn't know that this was an in-season tournament game unless you literally painted the court dark green.
Also, in the mind of the NBA, you have to assume this is for the casual fans, right? Because all sports are
Sure.
built on like the masses watching, and not everybody has time to watch.
Patriots
as we do,
fans are going to love this.
Exactly. But if you're a casual fan, all that's going to happen is, what the fuck is this? I don't know what that trophy is. They don't know what it is. Like, you didn't write in-season tournament anywhere. You didn't write what it is. Like, you didn't give anybody, like, if you had written in-season tournament on the court, they could Google that and figure it out what it is. This is just like completely useless to them. They'll just know, oh, why is the court different? They're not going to like make the connection that, oh, it's in the season tournament game, and maybe it'll be on like the graphics on the TV probably, but like, this doesn't accomplish what they think it accomplishes, in my opinion.
It's just like, also, don't make it Milwaukee green. Don't give the Celtics more Bucks like apparel and uniforms and branding. Stop. What they could have done with this and made it rule, if you really wanted to fuck around with the colors and everything, and you should have probably did this somewhat with the city jerseys, use that old obnoxious bright fucking green they used to have on the old school parquet and the old Boston Garden. That would rule.
Sure.
And you have the orangish tinge of the parquet in the middle instead of this beige color, which I guess is fine. But even that's lame. Like, I don't know. Nobody wants that. Nobody asked for this. Why do they have to do this? They need to get their grubby, greedy hands off of this franchise because they're looping them into a bunch of stuff that's a bunch of nonsense. Now you got the city jerseys. You got all these stupid courts around the league, and I'm out on it. They just did such a poor job with this. All they had to do was put the trophy on the court, and everyone would be like, oh, what's that? That's all you have to do. But no, you have to paint the whole court. You can't even sell merch from this. What is the point?
I don't know. I got nothing. I agree with you. I don't like it. I think once it's on the court, I won't mind it. Like, I think it'll look probably cool, but I don't like the concept of getting rid of the parquet. That's what I'm out on. So
if you kept the parquet, I'd have less of an issue. It would be like, oh, look what we did, like spiced up the parquet, and I'd still be like, go die. But
at the very least, make the tan strip in the middle instead of tan. Just make that the parquet, right? At least so it's something.
Even
right?
that'd be cool, yeah. But no, God forbid if you put wood on the floor.
Yeah, this is bad.
So dumb. The way they worded it was dumb. Their stupid statement was dumb because I wrote about it for Celtics blog, and I just did it from a news angle, so I didn't really rip it. But this is the first time they'll ever play a home game without parquet.
Yeah. Bad.
I think if they make it a tradition where they do this, it might become cool. But to start it, nobody asked you to start it.
Well, it's not going to look like this every year. Like,
no, but like you're going to be like, what's the cool design? I don't know. There needs to be like, I don't think they have enough people working on these projects. That is my theory. Because everything seems rushed. It's like stuff nobody really wants. Half the jerseys don't make any sense. This coloring doesn't make sense. Nobody that's a fan of the team would be like, yes, please make this Bucks colors. Please make us look like the Milwaukee Bucks with some of the most boring uniforms in the league. Like, to be honest with you, if the NBA wanted to do this right, they should have asked a Pete Rogers who puts tons of work into concept designs. Every single win they get, he's putting something out. There are plenty of Pete Rogers around the NBA, maybe not working and doing exactly what he does, but there are so many creative people that care about this sport and care about the league. Just hire them. And if you've worked on all this stuff, I'm sorry if I'm wrong, and you actually were one designated person, then you really messed up. If you had one job to make Celtic stuff, then you might have messed up. But I don't think that's the case. I think they probably have an understaffed team of people that are supposed to make this. And they just don't have the time to really sit and think and be like, what would these people like? Or they're just not amongst the fan base, and they don't know what the fan base would like.
That's what I'm thinking. I think it's just people at the NBA who design it for everybody, and they don't involve people who are involved. So that's
how great would it have been? Because the Celtics like tweeted out like new in-season court fire emojis. I would have so much respect for the admin if they were like, yo, they made us do this. Please don't be mad.
They're like, yeah, we're out on this. Sorry, guys.
It's so dumb. I can only say it's dumb for so many times in a row, but I'm disappointed.
Well, let's take this chance to jump over to the NBA section and compare it
blue.
to all of the other courts, because every NBA team did get a court for this, so we can rank. And
Off
instead
the
of
top
rank,
of my head, I think there was only one I thought looked okay.
okay, let's rank. Let's not. What I mean is, let's use our ranking system as: is this better or worse than the Celtics court? Right. So keep this image burned into your
This
brain.
is pretty bad.
A lot of them are bad. A lot of them are bad. And I know you're going to be biased towards this one being bad because you're a Celtics fan, but I want you to take away that bias to some degree and just do like, how does this court actually look versus how do the other courts look, with context that this is actually green, at least they got the color right, right? Because I know some of them
they got the color like 50% right.
The
they got
shade
the
is wrong.
overall color
Okay.
right, but they screwed up
Let me give you an
shade.
example, Sam. This isn't Hawks colors.
No, it's
like,
not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my example. The Celtics is better than this. This is terrible.
Yeah, I'm out. I mean, even, you know what? And I know it's coming up, so I guess I'll hold off. But,
Lift as we fly? What the fuck is that? What are we doing?
Have to lift to fly. Maybe they're getting really strong. Like they're lifting weights and they're flying.
Celtics is better, though. Yes, can we agree?
Yeah. It has nothing to do with the Hawks. I don't get it. Unless it's supposed to be sky. I don't get it.
Yeah. There is the Celtics.
All right. So
this is the same thing. This is the same court.
So somebody in the NBA creative team saw when the Nets made their court that disgusting gray a couple years ago, and they were like, look at this. We could do this for every team. I've never liked the way courts look when they just make them
Is that what you're thinking before?
Colors.
Is that the thought you were having when you said I'll hold it?
Yeah, and I knew it was literally the next one, so I was like, I'm going to hold off.
Yeah. Celtics better or worse? I think Celtics is better, honestly. I don't like the gray. I think gray's bad.
Well, does Brooklyn still have the gray court, or did they make it back to brown?
Brooklyn Nets home court.
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
I think. Oh God, I don't know. I think it's still the awkward color.
Okay, so I actually think this is better because it's only a slight change to what they actually have. Like if they did these minimal designs with the trophies in the paint and the trophy at center court for the normal court, it would look awesome. So if this is Brooklyn's kind of normal court, fine, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. I still like the Celtics better. I just don't like gray. I think it's lame.
I don't like the gray either, but with context.
I actually don't hate the Hornets court. I don't hate this. I think this is kind of cool. Like of all the courts, like the gold with that color, I'm kind of in on this. I think
the gold works because they also have it on those city jerseys.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also, the Hive is Alive is also kind of fire. I kind of
Hive is Alive.
I kind of fuck with that.
They should have kept that one in the bank until like they put a good team together.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now the Hive
burned it early. You can't be like the Hive is Alive and then finish in like 14th place, Like you should really save it for like, oh, wait, what? We got a marquee free agent?
Yeah. I agree. I like the court though. I think the court's cool. I'm fine with that.
They should along with what the Celtics have with the parquet, they should have the honeycombs in Charlotte for this.
Sure. I agree. This is another don't mess with what works. Bulls court's iconic. It's bad.
Don't mess with it.
Can't mess with it. I don't like it.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I would like if the Celtics did this same exact thing and they made it all green and they just did that classic Celtics logo. The old one without color. I think it would look sick.
I will say the reason I said the Celtics could look better in person is because I saw this picture and this from this. I don't think it looks terrible. Right? Right?
Well,
you see the vision.
The Celtics play on this bad boy because they're in the group. Or maybe you won't. It depends if
I don't
they
know
actually have to go to Chicago.
You see the vision though, right? Because that on the court it looks this image of it looks kind of kind of clean. I see the vision, but it's still weird. You can't get rid of the parquet.
There should be like a leave me alone option.
Wait a second. Is there?
Check it.
Can I zoom in? It looks like you can see the wood a little, so maybe they'll leave the parquet but just paint over it. We'll see. That's the determining factor of it's a complete L or not.
Yeah.
Cavs. Oh no.
Cavs.
You
know what the best part about this is? The NBA is like, we don't want any wooden aspects, but then the whole court is just like two tones of like wood color.
I don't hate the phrase "the land." I think this, like, at least that part of the logo looks better than some of the other ones. But like, this is just—it's so lame. It's so boring. How
It
is
is
it not like
lame.
the red? This is lame. Yeah, I don't like it. Sorry, Cavs.
The Cavs have missed on their branding for years.
Oh my god,
This one
the
looks bad
Mavs.
too.
You had such a great opportunity to make it like powder blue and dark blue, and then you made it gray. What
They
are we
love
doing?
gray. Gray is so
What are we doing?
gross.
I told you also, this probably matches their jerseys. You were like, "Oh no, those jerseys are black." I bet they're gray. They're definitely
Maybe they
gray.
are gray. I hope for
Bad.
their sake they're black, but maybe they're
not.
gray.
No way. Bad. I actually don't hate this font either for Mavs, but oh.
Oh no.
The Denver Warriors are
Yeah. Oh, wait. Have you seen the Warriors one?
no.
Just wait, buddy. It's terrible.
This is bad.
This sucks.
This is bad. This is
the
a Nuggets
jerseys
court.
don't even match this. They're black.
Yeah. This Nuggets court is just blue and yellow. Warriors colors. Sorry, audio listeners are gonna hate this part too, but come over to YouTube. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Audio.
This just isn't and this is Pistons. It's just gray and red. This isn't a Pistons court. This is a Rockets court.
Exactly. That's the problem with all of this stuff is they're not doing anything with the actual team. You're not having fun with it with the team. You're trying to rebrand all these teams for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Agree. Bad. Warriors
There
court.
you go.
It's poop. It's poop color. Oh my god. It's
This
like
is-
bronze and gold. This is horrendous.
This looks terrible.
It literally
This is
in
the
the
worst
literal
one so far, I think.
in the literal sense, it looks like shit.
It literally looks like shit.
This is terrible. Yeah, Warriors in last place right now. H-Town, I don't hate
Damn
it.
it, the Pistons should switch.
Yeah.
It would be perfect for if you just switched them. It would be perfect.
Rockets is blue and red. I do like how Rockets is like facing the word is, you know what I'm saying, on the
The
side.
Bulls did that too in Chicago.
Yeah, but their court looks like weird. I don't hate it. It's fine. Hometown Heroes at the bottom is odd. Indy, oh.
There's actually
Indy.
pictures of this if you're interested. They tweeted it.
Really? Does it look better like with the context of everything?
This is just not like it's a take on the Pacers branding, but like it's just not Pacers.
Like
this is not
light
Pacers. This is
blue.
San Diego Chargers or whatever the city they're in now.
Yeah. Oh god.
Stupid. Stupid.
It looks corny. It looks really corny is what it is.
It literally, you know what it looks like is because the yellow, at least in that middle picture of this, it looks like the court's just mad narrow.
Yeah.
And everything else is out of bounds.
I will say
That's
from this
another
picture
thing, is the out of bounds. This looks like New Orleans Hornets. Okay, I'm done.
if the I like the way the trophy looks. If this is what it looks like on all the courts, like it looks
I'm pro trophy.
Cool. Trophy looks cool.
The one good thing is the trophy. Fine with the
Agreed.
trophy in the paint. Fine with it.
Clippers so lame. This Clips logo needs to be burned. With the basketball, that's so stupid. It's out. Terrible. I will say you can hate on the Lakers. They got lucky. This is like what the Celtics should have done.
This is literally what every single team should do.
Mm-hmm. It's just the normal
If you're
Lakers logo
going
with
to
yellow and purple.
Mess around and do the paint stuff. Just do your team's colors. Is this the first team that's done their actual team's colors besides Chicago?
Yeah, I'm in. The Lakers one looks fine. This is fine. On a part of me wishes it was purple on the outside and yellow in the middle.
Yeah, that would look sick.
But anyways, Grizzlies. This is
Memphis
horrible.
got the shaft, bro.
What are we doing? It's just gray. It's all gray. This is bad.
They could have did a
Sorry.
sick Vancouver Grizzlies type thing. They could have did even
Look
their
at this at the
regular
bottom.
colors are fun.
This is the stupid MEM minimalistic thing. It just looks like fucking borders. It looks awful.
It looks like parquet. The Grizzlies are
Bad.
the only team with any parquet on their floor.
They said Marcus in town, parquet.
Respect, actually. Yeah.
He like you were so close to making it like
Didn't need the
somewhat
gray.
okay. Yeah, the gray out on gray on the court. It's just red and gray. Bad. This is terrible. What they
Even if
should have done,
just did black.
they should have made the red black and the gray red, and then the lines yellow. Would have looked sick. Would have looked super cool. They ruined it. Bucks
Bucks actually got hardwood.
Yeah, I don't like the cream. I wish it was all green
None of
and
this
then cream in
works.
the
These
middle.
colors don't go together.
I wish it was all green and cream in the middle, if anything, but it's not good.
Cream
Just
in the
bad.
middle like a Boston cream donut.
Timberwolves. I don't actually hate this
Not
with the context of what their jerseys are because of the water stuff. Excuse me. So it's just like different shades of blue. And I think the blues blend together enough where it looks kind of normal. So I kind of like
Yes.
this.
Don't hate
Timberwolves
it.
W. This might be the best one so far. Laker ones is fine, but they ruined it by having it inverted versus what we want.
Sure.
Don't hate this. Wow. Wow. The Pelicans are just. This is did they make the Pelican have bones? Is it always like that? Or is this like some spooky Halloween shit?
I
It's
just think
purple
that's-
and green. It's like the Hulk colors.
Now, I actually don't hate the color scheme if they just adopted this color scheme for the Pelicans because their actual color scheme sucks.
It's lame. It's super lame.
But this is not. That has nothing to do with the team. Like I don't get
No.
New Orleans Mardi Gras colors, I guess. But
Switch it to this though. This is cool, but just make
Yeah.
it normal. But for
the
now, this
colors
is
don't
lame.
really work for this.
I don't actually hate the Knicks court. I still think the drop shadow is stupid, but I don't hate this that much.
They should have flipped the darker color. The blue should be the big color.
I disagree. I like the orange.
You like the
I
orange?
like. I just like orange in general, but I see what you mean. The jerseys are black though, so make it black with orange in the middle.
No,
or
they're not
something.
black. They're blue.
Oh, you're right. They have the black striping on the shorts.
Yeah.
These aren't terrible though. It's fine. Okay, see.
If the actual logo was orange, it would look better. It's red,
It's like an orangish red. That's just
and
kind of
their
what the
jerseys are like heat colors.
the weird logos.
They don't even match.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but it's just odd. Odd Thunder. Out on the gray. Magic made it gray and dark blue. I hate gray. Gray's bad. Stop using gray on everything. Stop. It's literally like people use the word gray to describe like depression. Stop. Gray sucks.
They should have put. So now that I'm looking at some of these, they should have kept the normal court, right, as the trim, as the gray part, and then you can do whatever you want with the paint strip in the middle. It would have been
And,
more
like,
fun.
Left the rest as the hardwood, use the gray as the trim, and then
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I see. I can back that. Yeah, the full paint is weird. I would agree with you. Like make the outside one color, then leave the hardwood, then do the strip.
and again, they did all this because they think we're all too dumb to figure out.
Yeah.
it's
No,
like
I think
it's
that
a
would look
different
cleaner.
game.
Yeah, I think you're right. That would look cleaner.
Trophy
Sixers.
doesn't give it away.
Actually, don't hate the Sixers. It's very red with
The
the
red
blue.
doesn't work for me.
I do like the 76 in the middle though. That looks kind of cool. I like that logo.
Sure,
Just weird. What does it say at the bottom? I can't even see. Just
I don't know.
s-
We're
Phil-
gonna
it
lose
just
in the
says-
second round.
Just Philadelphia 76ers. Suns. This is actually kind of cool. I kind of fuck with the Suns court. I wish there was more orange instead of the purple and blue, but it matches their jersey scheme. I don't hate this. It says El
Sure.
Valley in the middle.
I
It's
can
fine.
only shit
Cool.
on this so much.
Do you see Kevin Durant? They put a video. Kevin Durant goes, "We're gonna play on an all purple court in the NBA." And they put it out as their social. Hold on, let me find it. It was fire.
I'm glad I saw the video. I didn't watch it with sound. I just saw him like looking at it, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, they're gonna make him hype it up." I'm glad he was like, "What the hell is this?"
Well, they made it sound like he was excited about it, but in the back of his mind, you just know he was like, "What the fuck?"
He was like, "Nobody asked for this."
Yeah, like what are we doing? Let me find the video. Here it is. He said
No,
he goes
we're playing with purple court in the NBA. No way. That's insane. Never done before, right?
I love it. Yeah, okay, Kevin.
Yeah.
Sure you love it. That's insane. Blazers.
Not
Don't
not
hate it.
terrible.
Don't hate it. It's because they kept it red. It's because they kept it normal. It's just red with the tan in the middle and Rip City in the plaid. Cool.
Yeah.
Kings, terrible. This is
Missed
awful.
opportunity.
Yeah, you literally have a jersey with the stripe on it. Just make this blue with the same stripe in the middle, and it's
Yeah.
great.
Would have looked
But
cool.
you made it fucking gray. Stupid. I just realized you're wearing gray.
Yeah, but like I
bad.
don't know.
It's different. It's different.
I'm
You can
not
wear
trotting
gray
around
look.
being like gray's the greatest color ever.
Yeah.
They have gray clothes.
Spurs.
terrible.
Weird. This is the Tower of
Nothing
Americas,
about this says Spurs.
This is the Tower of Americas. It's like a building in San Antonio. I looked it up when I wrote about it. So like fine, but it's weird. It's like the equivalent of having like the Empire State Building for the Knicks or what, the Zakem Bridge for Boston. You know what I'm saying? Like some iconic like city thing.
They could have did the Zakem. They could have had so much more fun with this. They didn't do a good job.
I agree. Raptors, just all fucking gray. It's terrible, stupid.
It's kind of black.
It's dark gray and gray.
Dark gray. I actually don't hate this with what they're going with the uniforms and the gold and stuff.
You're telling me they didn't make the stripe in the middle gold? Whack.
What?
Why didn't they make the stripe gold?
I see. Probably because of the trophies.
Then make the out border gold and then the court gray or something. It's just, I don't like it. I hate gray. This court's fire. This is the best court.
This
Utah's
is like
court,
the only one I saw it, and I was like, yeah, that's sick.
Utah's court, it's like lavender purple, then a dark purple stripe, and then the Utah purple, and they're going to wear the purple jerseys. This is fucking dope. Shout out to the Jazz.
This is like the only one I was like, okay, people might have asked for this.
Wizards, terrible. Gray and teal. These are not, I stand by that those Wizards jerseys are the worst jerseys ever made. These are fucking horrendous.
Yeah, it's just all bad.
Terrible. Bad. Okay. All right, let's move off the jerseys. Damian Lillard played like shit, and Sam put this on the sheet. You just want to talk about Dame sucking?
Yeah, I saw it online. They lost to Atlanta after Flava Flav did the national anthem in Milwaukee, which was, I think, a disaster. I actually watched the video, but I don't think people were tweeting it because it was good.
Rarely. That's rarely the case. Dame ended the game.
2 of 16, 2 of 12.
2 of 12. 6 points, 2 of 12, 2 of 8 from 3, 5 assists, 2 steals, 6 turnovers. Not a good game for him. He was a minus 29. The Hawks just ran all over them. They had well-rounded scoring effort. Just Dame struggled. And I saw somebody say, like, I hope this is the worst game Dame has all year. And realistically, maybe, yeah, it might be. But Dame is not invincible. That was the point of this segment. Moving on, Jokic said something about Chet Holmgren. Sam put it on here. I'll read the quote. They played each other. I think the Nuggets won, but it was an okay game. Oh no, okay, they beat the Pistons.
It was OKC's home opener. Denver won 128-95. Jokic pieced Chet, literally bodied him. 28 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists. Only missed 4 shots. There's a highlight clip that Harrison Wynn tweeted out. It's just Jokic just bullying him low.
Is this after the game, this quote?
This is after the game.
Jokic said, he's a really talented guy, but this is his first year. He's still learning everything, the game, how quick it is, where he's at an advantage, where he's at a disadvantage. I think he needs experience. I think he needs to be a little bit fatter, to be honest. But yes, he has talent in this unique. I didn't know that he literally said he needs to be fat.
Get ready to get fat, buddy. That's what he said.
That's awesome. Jokic sees other people calling him fat, and he's like, well, it fucking works. Other people need to be fat. Try it out a little bit. Him and Jokic handshake, or him and Luka handshake.
Jokic is going to be the face of body positivity soon.
Yeah, him and Zion. Like, guys.
Zion.
Yeah, that's fire, though. Him literally saying, yeah, get fat, buddy. Come on.
He tells him to get fat after literally, like, just beating the shit out of OKC, like, murdering them on their opener.
Respect.
Yeah, it is a respect.
Sorry, was typing something. Zach LaVine is the next thing we're talking about because he put up 51 points and they lost. They still fucking lost the game.
Yeah.
They lost to, who'd they lose to again?
I don't remember who it was.
Motherfucker, you put this in the sheet. What do you mean?
I put it in the sheet because I just remember last video. I was like, Zach LaVine sucks.
51 points in a 118-102 loss to the Detroit Pistons.
My Pistons are cooking this year.
That's a tough one.
They won 2 games or they won 1?
2-1. 2-1.
Yeah.
Jalen Durant is a beast. And Zach LaVine and the Bulls stink. And you put on here, what the fuck do they do? They're a mess.
They are a mess. I mean,
they are.
DeRozan has to be finding a new home. LaVine has to be finding a new home. Actually, did they just extend DeRozan or did I dream that?
No, they're having talks too, but they're far away.
All right.
Negotiations.
So those 2 guys are probably not going to be on the team. What are they going to do with Vucevic? Nobody's going to want him.
No, it's not a bad contract. It's $20 million. It's not like he's making $1 million, like a ton.
Okay,
like,
sure.
It's not terrible. I think they can trade it.
But I don't know if anybody's the most desirable guy on that team is DeRozan.
I think a team that could go after Vucevic. He's not the best defender, but he's a big enough body where where he can at least stand up against guys in the paint. The Grizzlies, Steven Adams out.
They could use it. There are
I
other
think
guys I'd rather get than Vucevic first, though, like Rob.
Like what? I would rather Vooch than Rob for that
No.
context. Yes, absolutely. They already have a Rob. You don't need two Robs. You need somebody who can stand up and guard, or at least stand in front of the Jokic's and Embiid's while Jaren Jackson plays help defense. I don't think you need a Rob. If you trade for Rob and you start Rob and Jaren Jackson Jr., who guards Jokic? And who gets rebounds? Or Rob will get rebounds, but who bodies
Rob
the
will
center?
roam.
Well, no, because that's Jaren Jackson Jr.'s role. Jaren roams. You know what I'm saying? So getting a second Rob, you need another Steven Adams, and I think Vucevic is closer to Adams than Rob.
I guess maybe.
I like Vooch to the Grizzlies. If they trade Vooch, that's my bet. You heard it here first. Kennard and some other salary. Yeah, Jack
is crystal ball man.
Mm-hmm. And I think DeRozan goes to the.
He's going to go to a contender, and it's going to be really annoying.
I think we'll go to New York. That's where I think he ends
That
up.
would not be good.
They'd actually have I don't want to say a chance, but they'd be a lot better in the playoffs. With DeRozan.
No, they'd be a hard team to beat in the clutch. DeRozan's a good clutch player.
Mm-hmm.
He's not careless.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, last NBA thing I should say. De'Aaron Fox is out. Shams Charania reported this. Kings All-Star De'Aaron Fox has avoided significant injury, but has sustained a moderate sprain of his right ankle and is likely to miss some time. Sources told Shams and Sam Amick of The Athletic. Fox played through the sprain down the stretch of 37 points in a victory over the Lakers on Sunday. Sam wrote, "Respect, he still cooked the Lakers." I had the Kings as the 7th seed. I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh, the Kings could be the team out of that West to miss the playoffs." The Kings are still good. The Kings are still a good team. Yeah, no, you had the Timberwolves, but
I think I had them playing then. I did not respect the Kings.
I think the Kings are good. I think they'll still be good, but losing De'Aaron Fox for this time is going to hurt them for sure. So
sure, I'm not rooting against the Kings. I like the Kings. I think their fans deserve some happiness. Which is not something I throw around lightly. I often think most fan bases should be miserable. Kings got swept by the Celtics last year, so I didn't have to see them beat the Celtics, so I have no ill will towards them right now. I also think De'Aaron Fox might have seen a leak of the Kings court and said, maybe I want to hurt myself and not play in this tournament.
Tough.
But again, respect. Beat the Lakers. Pistons better record than the Lakers.
What are the Lakers, 1-2?
Yeah.
Respect.
Could have easily been 0-3. Phoenix had him.
Very true. They were short. All right, let's get into the rat list here. Sam, I'll let you kick it off and give me your thoughts. Kick off the rat list for me?
Okay, so I am typically a person who does not like things that people like. Correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, Halloween. I don't hate Halloween. I like a lot of the media that surrounds Halloween.
We're lame.
Actually, I can do a costume for tomorrow. Or are we doing a stream today? You want?
We can do. Maybe we'll costumes for pregame. Well, my point is this is going out on Halloween, so we should have worn costumes for this pod.
Oh, shit. Well, whatever. Yeah. Don't care.
Sorry.
We'll do something on the. Maybe I'll wear something for the stream. I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot. But anyways, Halloween. I don't hate it. I like a lot of the stuff that goes along with Halloween. I like scary movies. I think they're kind of funny. A lot of them are pretty funny. You would be shocked. Candy's fine. One thing that I realized I am very much out on has almost soured me on the holiday. I'm frozen. Oh no, I'm not.
No, you're not. No, I was trying to think of what you're gonna say. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Damn it. You can't do that to me.
I'm not allowed to sit here and listen. You're
sitting there with your mouth agape and not moving. I thought you froze.
I
was like, no way did his face actually freeze like that in real life.
No, I'm trying to think what you're saying.
Okay. Well,
come on.
So I like Reddit. I use Reddit, use it for the Reddit posts, use it for many things. I like to look at what people have to say. So I'm in many communities. One thing people love to do on Halloween is like, what do you think of my costume? So you get all these fucking people posting their costumes online like, hey, buddy, I don't really want to see you on my phone. I would actually like to see like the topics I'm interested in. I don't want to see you dressed as a topic that I'm interested in.
It's a good one.
Rat list to those people.
I agree. I thought you were gonna go with candy corn. Are you a candy corn guy or do you hate candy corn?
I don't really care for it, but I had
There's no
not
in
tried
between.
to eat it in a while, so I may have had my palate change.
I like candy corn.
Traditionally, don't care for it.
I like it, but it's like you can't eat too much of it, right? You know what I'm saying? That's my
Yeah.
stand. I think it's fine. Ratless my ankles. I have Steph Curry ankles. I back in April was playing basketball with Sam, or this goes back way further. I was playing basketball when I was in college, like years ago, and I was going up for a rebound. I landed and I stepped on my ankle. I sprained it real bad, and I let it recover for a couple weeks, and then I was like, okay, I'm over this. And it was fine. I was on crutches. It is what it is. Fast forward to this past April 2023, I was playing ball with Sam, and I was going up for a layup in like the pick and roll or something, and I
Was it the last play of the game?
Yeah, well, no, we had like a couple.
Only a few points to play, I think.
I know,
wasn't a lot.
I just remember because I got back in, but I stepped on it again, like I just landed on it, and it was another like real bad sprain. It didn't break or anything, but like I was on crutches again. I'd rather it have broken, so it could have like actually healed, right? Because the sprains don't heal normally. Like at least a break will heal because you have a cast, et cetera, et cetera. This is just like, yeah, fucking deal with it, buddy. Like, fuck, what do you want me to do? So that happened. I've rolled it like the same ankle a couple times since. I'm an idiot, so like I'll be running and my golf shoes are bad, so I like roll it while I'm like walking around the golf course because it's really hilly, and so I'll walk up and down a hill and I'll just fall down it or like I'll step on it. And then last night I was playing ball again. I thought I played well. Sam's team was stacked, which is another ratless in and of itself, but I like came down after a layup and I just stepped on my good ankle. And so now both of my ankles are just fucked. And the reason is I have like Steph Curry ankles. Like my lower legs are really skinny, but all of my weight, cause I'm fat, right? I'm not like obese, but I got some weight there, right? But it all collects up here. And so my ankles are not great at supporting me.
Jack comes out as fat.
Yeah,
as if the commenters weren't like giving him shit about coughing.
We knew this. I'm not a skinny guy, but my ankles don't support it, and it's tough. Yeah, so now both of my ankles are fucked. I sent Sam the picture before this. It looks like the bulb on your ankle. It looks like I have two bulbs, like one above the other. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look great.
It doesn't look. I'm not going to describe it, but it does not look like a healthy ankle.
No. So ratless my ankles, and since I said it. Ratless not picking captains for basketball anymore. Like it's just not like once a week there's just one team that's not fair. Like why don't we do captains?
So I agree with you in this sense. But typically when I'm playing basketball, the talent pool is not as diverse as it is when we play on Sundays. Usually everybody's like close to the same level. So if you shoot for teams, you're going to end up with like relatively fair teams.
But we can't do that on Sundays.
Sometimes it's a wash. Sometimes on Sundays it's a wash. I debated switching teams yesterday, but I really probably wouldn't have been a help. My legs were cooked. I didn't have a whole lot, especially at the end. I was bad.
Your team was by far just the best. I mean, you guys.
I didn't have to do anything.
6-1. You guys lost once, and it was the last game.
Yeah,
that was some shit. Got
my running.
Yeah. All right. What you got? Your turn. You go.
Ratless Frank. Frank yesterday at basketball. Frank tried to chirp me. Frank, I was screwing around like in between games, and I went up and I jumped and I grabbed the rim with two hands. Then Frank said, "How tall are you, Sam?" And I said, "I'm 6'3". And then he said, "You're 6'3" and you can't dunk." And then the next game I dunked. So get fucked. It was a super cool dunk. No, it was not a super cool dunk. It was a dunk. It was
kind of dunked. It wasn't a slam dunk. It was a dunk. That's how we describe it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah. It was dunk.
You put the ball in the hoop and grab the rim. That's what happened.
I was at the rim and the ball went in, and it went in. It didn't like rattle around too long.
No, it got in. It was
clean. It was a respectable dunk.
So
Frank can get fucked.
Ratless Henry. Again, basketball. Again, basketball. And I'm not actually mad at Henry, but I'm gonna ratless him for making this. I don't know if it was like a half joke, right? It was like one of those things you say like jokingly, but you also kind of mean it. And so I'm on Henry's team. Henry's my brother. And I get a rebound and I see him leaking down the court. And to my credit, I made a pass in front of Deshaun, who Deshaun had like 10 steals one game. Like he's just nasty on defense. Hopefully Sam can attest when he unfreezes, but I made a pass.
No, I'm not frozen.
Okay. I made a pass to Henry on the fast break and I put it in the only spot where Deshaun couldn't have gotten it. And Henry caught the ball. And then Henry just completely smokes the layup. Sam's, your camera's frozen. You should unstart your camera and restart, like just on StreamYard, hit stop cam and start cam again, because we can't see you. I can't see you.
How about
okay,
now?
you're back now. You're back now. Henry just completely smoked the layup. Deshaun got like a good contest from behind off, but like Henry just missed. And then they're running back down the other end. I'm like searching around for help defense, and Deshaun just completely gets behind me for back cut. And Henry just turns to me and goes, "Nice defense, Jack." I'm like, "You just fucking missed a wide open layup, and you're gonna talk shit to me?"
Henry's
and
he
was like joking a little bit, but like I was like, "Brother, come on, man, what are we doing here?" We did win the game though. After shout out Ray. Ray made the three. He talked all this shit, but
Ray got his exercise for the week.
I don't think you understand how. I mean, you probably did because I was like screaming. I get very competitive. I wanted to beat y'all so bad. I was so over it. You guys were fucking winning every time. We had to. We had to get one in.
I don't have any more rat lists, but I will anti-rat list everyone that said happy birthday in the comments. Thank you. That was very nice of you. And I don't think I had to go in and respond to everybody, but I want you to know I did appreciate it. Because I'll tell you what the rat list is the Facebook happy birthdays. Mm-hmm. Not to say I don't appreciate people, but going through to respond to all of them.
Just gotta like the comments.
I just get so many, And everybody wants to say happy birthday.
It was a wholesome moment until you had to be an asshole again. It was great.
Well, I wasn't doing it to be an asshole, but then I hurt myself, so I was like, I'm gonna lean into this. Because that's essentially what I was. I just get too many.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right, buddy. All right, we can wrap it there. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it. Again, we recorded the bulk of this before the Wizards game, so we'll see how good of a mood we're in later when we react to that. But thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Make sure to subscribe to How About Them Celtics. Fun things coming soon. I won't say anything more. Subscribe to YouTube. Check us out on Spotify and Apple. Leave us 5 stars. I was listening to the Front Office show, and they mentioned that since it's the start of the season, more people are listening on Apple and Spotify. So if you get ratings now, it helps boost the algorithm a little bit. So if you are listening and you are a Spotify or Apple listener, leave us 5 stars. If you listen on Spotify, or even if on YouTube, go over to Apple and Spotify or whatever you use, leave us 5 stars, leave a review, help us boost in those algorithms, because the growth there is important and not something we see as much as YouTube, as like blatant as YouTube all the time. But we appreciate you. Leave us ratings there. Comment on the YouTube. That's I literally look at the comments every day. Thank y'all, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening or watching. Make sure if you're on YouTube, you subscribe, whether it's us or CLNS. If you're on our channel, you can hit the notification bell. Make sure you don't miss any of our daily uploads, our live streams, which will have happened tonight. After this has been up or before this has been uploaded, whatever. By the time you listen to this, the streams are relevant today. Spotify and Apple, like Jack said, make sure you leave us a nice review. Say something nice about us. 5 stars, okay? Playback.tv. You can find us there. Search the name of the pod as you see it on the screen with the apostrophe, and you'll find us. As you're listening to this, last night we did the playback stream during the game with First the Floor's Ben Vallis. A lot of fun. And you can find future ones there as well, so you don't want to miss those. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Just the name of the podcast on Facebook. You can find Jack on Twitter at Jack Simone NBA. You can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.
Tic-tac